Holy smokes, it's happening again. And yes, this is the time us cryptocurrency brokers live for. This is the time. Yes, it is. It is game on for Bitcoin. Welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, and I'm bringing you this lovely cryptocurrency video right from Westlake Village, California. We got another day of sunshine out here, and boy, it is shining bright here in Bitcoin land. And what do we have here? It looks like a bit of a double bottom here, and it looks like continuation to the upside is the name of the game. Probably going to get a short-term pullback as we're coming right in to the 618 fib right there at 19,200. And what else do we have here? The daily Stokes are still crossed up and will remain to the upside as long as Bitcoin is above 18,786. So potential to cross down here in the next 33 minutes. The 2-day is also going to be remaining up. First test into the bullish control zone is usually a sell. So again, wouldn't be far-fetched to look for a short-term pullback. However, I would say that the 2-day volatility signature has initiated liftoff. Volatility is now above the 20 percentile. And as we said yesterday, the average move, once volatility expands, is going to be 34%. 34% actually will bring you right up to this green box of peace and prosperity or death and despair. And if we can get above that green box, it's peace and prosperity. If we get rejected at the green box, it is death and despair. Watch out for the green box of peace and prosperity or death and despair. So what happened today? CPI came out. CPI came out at negative 0.01%. Negative inflation last month? That makes a lot of sense. Good job, Joe Biden. Good job, Jerome Powell. Good job. You're doing what you said you're going to do, and that's try to bring down inflation to 2%. And year over year inflation came out at 6.5%. So what does that mean? If you had $100,000 in cash in the bank last year, you only lost $6,500 worth of your purchasing power. Supposedly, that's what the government says. I don't know if I believe them. Frankly, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I don't trust them farther than I can throw them. It's absolutely crazy, the people, the politics, and what's going on in the White House right now. So let's get into Bitcoin price action and talk about where this thing is possibly, and you know, not to pat myself on the back, but I did say, hey, probably going to run up to 19,000 in this zone, and at very least test this region off of the daily, just based off of the higher low on the weekly time frame. This is the first higher low going back all the way to February of 2022. February 2022. So here's what I'd be looking for. On the 2-day time frame, for volatility to continue, and Stokes will be up as long as we're above 16,752. Now, this is a very, very nice signal, and the question is, will it bleed on into the higher term time frame since volatility has been compressed for some time? And we basically had two failures on the last expansions off the lows. This expansive move had a very small move. This expansive move back here, another small move. So the average move on the 5-day time frame when volatility explodes, I think it's around 40 to 45%, something like that, as high as 50%. So big move potentially incoming. Notice the death cross on the 5-day. And what do you want to see on a perfect death cross? You want to see price action sucked up into the cross and spit back down. And that's exactly what I'd be looking for, because the trend is your friend till the end of the trend. How do we get a trend reversal? Well, you need a higher high and a higher low. We got the first higher high. We got the first higher low in a very, very long time. So that bodes well for cryptocurrency in the short term. And let's check out some of the shorter term time frames, as Bitcoin is holding up a bit better than Ethereum at the moment. And the question is, Ethereum going to lead the way to the downside? And we got Stokes cross down, volatility expanding. Also notice that volatility expansion typically happens in 3 waves on the lower term time frames. So you got the first pump up, volatility expanded, price went up. Volatility expanded, price went up. And volatility expansion, price goes up again. So usually after the 3rd time, you get a little bit of a cool off. So as long as Bitcoin is making higher lows on the 4-hour time frame, which I would define as long as we're making higher lows above this green 55 exponential moving average, then we're good to go. And party is on to the upside. If we start to close a 4-hour time frame below 17,500, that's when I would start to wave the bear flag again and say, watch out to the bulls. It might have been a bull trap. Since thus expanding off the lows, and you will notice, Stokes will cross down here soon, but some people think this is the oversold region. No, this is the critical zone. This is the area where you say, okay, price is trending, price action is trending and likely to continue as long as those Stokes are crossed up. So what happened today? This is what happened. The dollar got creamed, absolutely creamed. And we did talk about this earlier this week. And we said, hey, look, if we take out this low at 103, call it 103.30, I think we were saying 103.30. Then very, very likely Bitcoin does take the move to the upside and, talked about 19,000, potentially around 20, 21,000, something like that. And we will be, judging that along the way. And for the dollar, we said, hey, look, based off of this guy, look at how those fibs work. Okay. Do you see how that 1618, is it any coincidence that we come exactly down to that 1618? I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence, but I would tell you it's not. And that's why overall, the entire market, bear market rally, this is all this is, in my opinion, bear market rally. Still, nobody's priced in the recession. Still, we haven't had a major meltdown, in my opinion, in the stock market. And what do you know? There is the 1618 fib right there. And that's why we've been talking about this green box of peace and prosperity and death and despair down here. And ultimately, we are targeting a move down there. Does it happen this quarter? Does it happen next quarter? I don't know. But I do believe at some point this year that it will get hit. And the only way I'm going to change my opinion on that is if Bitcoin can make a higher high and a higher low on the weekly time frame, something like that. This kind of action, we got to take out really this region at 24,000. To me, that's not a high. Close enough is close enough. Hey, I'll judge it from there, but higher low and higher high on a weekly time frame, that'll change things around for the next 12 to 18 months. Until then, we're going to resume with the trend. And just really quick, I'm going to draw this trend line out. And here's the most bullish case I have for you guys. Oh, look at that. I wonder where Bitcoin's price action may come up and touch this trend line. The other thing we did talk about the other day on the daily time frame was that possibly we were going to run into some selling pressure alongside this trend line on the daily time frame coming in here. 3 times makes a trend, right? 3 touches makes a trend, and that would make a perfect descending triangle. And all we are doing is essentially, back testing right now. As it goes right now, party on to the upside, and you can see NASDAQ just closed up today. Dow closed up and is already ripping up to the upside for today, for tomorrow. Some reason Dow, the market closes early on the Dow Jones futures. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But I do suspect the Dow, being the leader of this market, probably going to catch, oh, look at that. Perfect trend line touches. We start to break above here on the S&P, and I'm targeting a move probably back up to 4,100. Overall, I'm more bearishly biased, and I do believe that, wow, I was calling a bounce out of this region, that depending upon the U.S. dollar, if the dollar wants to put in a low, but here's what you got. You've got Stokes cross down, volatility expanding, and I would say we probably take another leg down, another leg down to doggy town. And, where's that target? Probably the next level down is going to be this guy right here at 101.30. And this is the giveaway for more downside displeasure on the 6-month time frame. We had a tick below that shooting star candle. Shooting star candle, and I'm looking for the dollar to come down at this region, maybe as far as 98. And even, you know, as far as this guy. And as long as we're making higher lows on really the monthly time frame, we are coming into a bouncy region. I do believe we will bounce off the 21. That being said, I got to get to my next appointment. I had to make the video a little bit short today, but just know things are absolutely critical here. What else happened? Gold, our other target, gold hit 1900. Gold blasting off to the moon. Just as we said, as we broke back into this channel, very, very likely the next thing, we're going to test the top side of the channel. Stokes are just crossing up on the monthly time frame for gold. The first time we've crossed up, well, the last time we crossed up was right here. Ran up to 2,000. The time before that, ran up to 2,000. And where's the next target? If we can start closing dailies back above 2,000, I believe the consolidation will rip to the upside a bit higher. Next target, you know, I'll move that down to this level right here. Actually, let's go wick to wick, right? If we get a closure above the wicks, that's the conservative way to do it. $2,300 gold, $2,350. If we can close a daily back above 2,100. So still got quite a way from there. And I would say if the dollar does slide down, you're very, very likely going to see that move play out for Mr. Gold. Now, something else, a little tip for your exponential knowledge here is that silver follows gold with more gains. Silver follows the gold, but with more gains. Why? I don't know. This is just what happens. So if silver can crack $29, I am going to look for a nice little run. First stop is going to be 36. Second stop, $46. And I don't think it will stop there. You know, we might get a test, come back down, and then I do think, again, daily's above $30 and silver makes a run to $36. So if you are a gold or silver buyer out there, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, I am not giving financial advice, but if you're one of those people that thinks, hey, the government doesn't have my best interest at heart, the banks don't have my best interest at heart, my dollars are getting worthless by the minute, hey, might not be a bad time to take a look at those old shiny metals again. Other than that, I think I'm going to sign out by checking in on Ethereum. Sorry, guys, one last thing. 15-minute video seems to be the time frame. And yes, very similarly, on the monthly time frame, this is a dead giveaway. I think Ethereum runs probably a bit higher here. Going into the end of the month, you know, Ethereum's really going to get going. Could head up back to about $1,600 based off of this. The tick above this guy, right? Remember that 9 exponential? Very similar to that 6-month setup, but to the opposite direction, right? So as the dollar goes down, metals go up. Same thing with crypto. Just a little tip there. Dollar goes down, risk assets go up. What else happened? You know what else I heard this morning is that the day before the CPI print is released, they can, whatever committee it is, I forgot, I wrote it down. Whatever committee it is that calculates inflation, they're allowed to give President Joe Biden the numbers the night before. And what do I suspect? Well, they probably tell Joe Biden. He calls up Nancy Pelosi and says, "You know what, Pelosi, we got a couple more mansions we got to buy. Go long, go long. Risk assets are going to party to the upside, and they get all the inside information. Not fair." That's it out of me today, guys. Hope you have a blessed and highly favored day, and we'll check in tomorrow. Take care.